We had discussions amongst the steering group and the organizing group for the workshop was to try and apply this kind of what became known as the 1/3 rule within SDC around a number of these network workshops. You know, spending roughly a third of the time on the network, roughly a third of the time on thematic content, and we also, of course, want to spend a fair bit of time giving you different experiences from the field visits and the discussions. So, but of course we want to make sure that there's a combination of things that are basically fairly well defined, like the thematic inputs and discussions, and the open spaces which come towards the end of the week. There's a particular methodology called open space. I don't know how many people are familiar with it. How many people have done an open space meeting? Okay, not many. So you might find it interesting. It doesn't just mean, you know, nobody knows what's going to happen. It's more a methodology that's designed to put the power in the hands of participants in terms of the specific topics that you discuss, and it builds hopefully on what happens early in the week. So today, as you probably know, we do a quick tour de table, which we'll do shortly, and then look at some of the climate change trends in terms of the network, in terms of the institution, internally and externally, policy dialogues, and then towards the end of the day, prepare for tomorrow's field visit. That, if you've looked at the agenda, is a very long day tomorrow. We start really early and we finish quite late, but it will probably be a very interesting day, we hope. And that's focusing on adaptation, the PAC program, which you'll hear more about at the end of today. Then on Wednesday, it's the second field visit looking at a mitigation project, a yield project around brick making, and that's takes up roughly half a day. That's a lot closer to us than the PAC project. Following that is when we get into the open space, and we spend the entire day on Thursday in open space, and I will on that day describe how the process goes, but it's basically your opportunity to talk about the things that are important to you. So I think you will find it refreshing and interesting. Friday, we basically, Thursday's just discussion of the number of topics you want to cover. Friday is a bit more selecting a small number of those topics for actual action planning, for follow-up after the event, because you won't be able to follow up on all the things that you talk about. So it's important to kind of think strategically, what is it that we can actually reasonably do in the future as a follow-up. And that's the week. Let's see if I can do a better job.